So, stop me if you've heard this one. Earth is at a crossroads, as humans fear they've outgrown the planet's resources, which have dwindled because of overpopulation and corporate extravagance. In the world of Genesis Alpha 1, mankind looks to the galaxy after hyperdrive technology is discovered and makes interstellar travel possible. An alliance of corporations funds the development of colony ships meant to explore the Alpha Quadrant of the Milky Way for new hospitable planets. The game itself charts the journey of the USS Genesis, a player-constructed vessel capable of gathering and processing debris and raw materials into resources to make the ship more resilient against the ravages and unpredictability of space exploration. The game is a roguelike, so that means the experiences you'll encounter across the vacuum feature a measure of unpredictability because no two instances of the playable space are the same. At the start of any new Genesis Alpha 1 game, you'll be instructed to select from a short list of available corporations that feature notable advantages and disadvantages that impact play, like better starting weapons or a smaller crew. After selecting the corporation, you'll design the USS Genesis however you'd like, providing it is equipped with basic but essential facilities: crew quarters for housing and first aid, a greenhouse to make the ship habitable, a tractor beam to pull in materials from nearby space debris, and storage. The beauty of the game's simple yet elegant system for interstellar base building is the freedom to construct the ship however you want. You're not locked into any design restrictions beyond not having enough of the prerequisite materials to build some of the more advanced upgrades and rooms right from the start. Rooms can be connected to each other by a network of corridors or access ways, as well as turbo lifts, which allow for building across multiple planes. Once you finish designing your layout of the Genesis, it's time to head out into space and begin the search for a new home. Genesis Alpha 1's loop involves flying to an occupied system, scan local debris and planets, and start collecting. The tractor beam is useful for pulling various base materials from debris that are essential for building and upgrading rooms. Constructing a hangar opens travel to planet surfaces in search of plants, rare resources, new blueprints, and special character upgrades left behind by previous explorers. The resources earned from debris and planets are processed and turned into materials used to expand the Genesis and provide personal items. All assignments aboard the ship take time and can be sped up by approaching the appropriate computer terminal and holding down a button. Since the captain can't be everywhere at once, you can assign the rest of the crew to these areas and let them do it instead. Crew members can even be assigned to accompany you on planetary excursions to make the work go faster. Assigning crews to work in different parts of the ship frees up your time to accommodate the growing needs associated with long-term space survival. Spending resources to set up multiple workshops, power reactors, greenhouses, and tractor beams is a great idea, but doing so without setting up reactors to handle the increased power draw results in a slow build to catastrophic failure. As helpful as new facilities and better weapons can be, your crew is the greatest asset. The corporation you choose at the beginning of the session come with their own crew complements, but more can be added by setting up a bioworks lab to store collected biological material needed to develop clones. Human clones represent the basic baseline crew members to acquire, but as you explore and collect alien DNA, you can create new species that have positive and questionable concerns. One type of alien clone, for example, is more resilient to damage but has lower intelligence, which could jeopardize work efficiency. Clone or not, the crew of the USS Genesis is a literal lifeline for the player because they serve as lives that are spent by promoting a random clone as a new player-controlled captain should the previous one meet some dreadful fate at the hands of space pirates or aliens. No matter how clever and confident you might feel about your ship's layout and the efficiency of your crew, Genesis Alpha 1 attempts to disrupt your calm. One of the more pervasive threats to deal with are the sudden appearance of aliens that'll not only attack your crew, but build nests that produce unending streams of creatures until they're destroyed. And if these nests are left to fester and grow without your intervention, they'll get larger and more invasive, popping out bigger and tougher enemies. Onboard alien hunting is where most of the game's tension originates. The presence of stowaways is marked by a very aliens-inspired motion tracker that pops up whenever a creature has found itself on the ship. Since the crew isn't very good at defending themselves, the task of extermination falls to you. Hopefully, you spent the time and resources to develop better weapons. Additional defensive measures can be deployed, like auto turrets and energy barriers that damage smaller creatures attempting to pass through them. I learned very quickly to set up turrets and shields in areas where aliens are likely to congregate, like the hangar, tractor beam, and refinery. I enjoyed the low-key alien vibe of the game very much. There's just something about running around the dimly lit corridors and access ways hunting for nests that does a good job of sharing the experience of Ellen Ripley doing the same. It's not quite Alien Isolation, but it's a fun enough facsimile. Space pirates and mechanicals aren't as unpredictable as aliens because you can always spot their presence on the galaxy map, which makes them easier to avoid. Whichever the target, combat is a high-stakes experience because, apart from weapons, you have little to defend yourself with. Ammo can be replenished at weapon lockers, but inventory is limited, so you'll want to make sure to collect and process the appropriate materials to make more. If you succumb to some method of death, a random crew member is promoted to captain that you're given control of. True to the roguelike nature, any upgrades equipped on the previous captain are lost for the duration of the game. You'll continue to burn through your crew each time you die until there are none left, and then the game ends. So, it's important to keep a healthy allotment of clones to ensure better, more prolonged chances of survival as things get more and more dangerous in the search of a Genesis planet. Should you do achieve a complete game over, your actions in-game may unlock new and better corporations that offer better starting odds and stronger crew complements. Any alien artifacts collected from planets also carry over. What this all means is that you're not expected to succeed at first, second, or maybe even the third time out, but the work you put into those sessions will pay off in ways that make starting that fourth time a little easier. I typically don't have the patience for roguelikes because I feel they can be a little overbearing and it takes a lot of time and investment before you start seeing positive returns. However, Genesis Alpha 1 grew on me because there's a nice simplicity to what the player is responsible for. Once the foundation of the USS Genesis has been laid out, the crew is largely in charge of the grunt work, which gives you time to develop babysitting defenses, hop down to planets to exploit the resources, and fight off aliens and pirates. From a stylistic point of view, the game got its hooks deep into me because I felt it drew visual and oral inspiration from the likes of 1980 sci-fi film legends like Douglas Trumbull, John Carpenter, and Ridley Scott. Genesis Alpha 1 offers a tense and methodical approach to roguelike survival through base building and resource gathering in one of the most harshest environments imaginable. DarkStation gives Genesis Alpha 1 4 stars.